Hello there and welcome back to another Thunder's Productions video. I'm the madman behind the mic, Jag Thunder, and this is Minecraft. And what's up guys, and welcome back to another cool video. This one is on the Helicarrier. It is finally done. It has been a long road, as most of you do know. I think the first picture that I posted on my Facebook was last July. And so it's been about, 8 or 9 months since I started this beast. And this is about as far as it's going to get. It's not 100% done. Obviously, it could use a hell of a lot more detail. But if and when I do try to tackle a tutorial, this is going to be hard enough. The more shit that I add to it, the harder it is going to be, and the less likelihood that I'm going to be able to pull off a tutorial. So I stopped. I figured this was far enough. And after we get the possible tutorial done, maybe we can come back and add some more things to it. Or you guys can add to it and then send me pictures. Again, that's further down the road. We will talk about that at another time. But anyways, yeah, a lot of work, a lot of pain and suffering into this build. A lot of redesigning. Big rotors here themselves, I think I redesigned them probably about 8 or 9 times. There's 2 or 3 different versions on my Facebook pictures, but I think the final design turned out really well, and I know a lot of you really like that. So yeah, those turned out good. The planes that are on here, the F-35, the tutorial for those are already done. Those were, I think, back with Gerald Ford. I've got my Quinjet. I think turned out pretty good, and it's really close to scale. I think it's off maybe just a few blocks like most of my other ones. It's a couple blocks wider and a couple blocks longer than the 1/1 scaled version of it. So it's just a hair bigger, and we can go inside, and we will do that on up there. And I think is what we'll do is I'm just kind of flying around this one so you can get a good look at it because it's in gray, and it's kind of easier to see my mistakes. Which is fine, and you can see, where it's not like finished. More detail around the top of the wings would have been, ideal. I had some detailing underneath that I removed, just because it was getting really intricate, and there's no way in hell again I could have made a tutorial on that. That would have killed it. So I took it all off and never finished blending in the bottom of these. But I still think they look all right. They're not bad. Let's see what else I've got. The intakes on the side here. I don't have any pictures of those, but I did correct those and fix those from the last updates on my Facebook. So you guys didn't get to see that. The striping, I added all that. I changed out these from the quartz. I think they look a lot better. What else did I get done since the pictures? Obviously the darker version up there. The reason I did that is everything else stands out on the deck a lot better than this one here. Here's the Quinjet at an angle. And yeah, I just took MC Edit and just shifted it. It's, kind of half-assed, but from a distance it looks pretty cool. And there's one back there with some trailing behind it. You can probably see some more pictures of that on my Planet Minecraft, which we did make the featured builds area within an hour after posting it up to Planet Minecraft. They put it on their featured wall, which was really awesome. Pretty excited about that. Anyways, got some interior inside the island, some little places to park the little tractors and the bomb carriers and stuff like that. The upper bridge here, of course, is not finished, but I do have the areas laid out for it. And then up here, same thing. There's another bridge area. Some doors going down the side, some double doors going to the outside deck area back here. And then everything else in the middle is, I believe it's unfinished. I'm pretty sure it's unfinished. Let's fly around here. Some of the radar stuff. Again, I don't know what most of it is. I did what I could, the best I could, with the pictures and the reference stuff that I did have. I was going to go back and and watch the movies, and I think I did over a period of time. I tried to watch a few of them again, and picked up what I could, and the rest I just improvised. So that's pretty much what I got done on the inside. Alexa, not a lot, but it is done enough where you can go in and complete it. Nice little walkway back here, so you can go underneath And let's get out of there for a minute. Let's get out of there for a minute. This here is an elevator right here on the side. That one. So that one goes down inside. And there is another platform. I think this is the one that the helicopter's sitting on that moves up and down to go below deck. I'm not sure in the movie if that's accurate or not. Or the one underneath the symbol in the middle moves up and down. I didn't do that because it was right in the middle of the hangar bay underneath, so that's kind of the design thoughts on that one. Now, so what we're going to do is we're going to fly up here to the darker one, and I will switch off shaders because we're going to go kind of inside and take a little bit better look at what's going on. So anyways, there again, there's the darker version you saw in the fly-through. I chose to use this one because, the decks were a lot lighter and everything stands out so much better. You can see the jets better. You can see the Quinjet there. It looks really good. Let me go ahead and switch off my CUDA shaders. All right, and let's go ahead and fly down underneath. Spent probably 2 months trying to come up with some different designs for underneath. Again, there's no information on anything on the inside of the Helicarrier. I know there's a Lego game that you can fly around the Helicarrier, and I tried to use some video from that, but unfortunately the game has this area completely shut off. You can't even get in here. So again, I had to improvise, and I think I did a pretty well job on that. Pretty good job, pretty well job, whatever you want to say. 2 areas here for the Quinjets to park with their wings kind of folded up, and this one here I believe is the one that I've got open where you can go inside. Yeah, so I've got the back dropped on this one, and you can go up in and take a look. And it's very basic. It's just got 2 little pilot seats and a couple seats here in the back for the rest of the their Marvel Avenger friends to go with them, and whoever rides along with them. Again, guys, I'm not a huge Marvel fan. I mean, I am, but I don't know it like you guys do. And you could probably tell me exactly who rides on that damn thing and whatever. This is the platform that goes up and down. Kind of screwed around with that, a couple different ideas on that, and that's as far as that got. I was going to actually take that down into the lower area, but it didn't make sense after I built everything down there, so that's where this one ends up. And then another side hangar bay over here. Kind of run out of room going up forward, so the little parking bays aren't going to make sense. As they go up, they'll get a lot more cramped, and you wouldn't actually be able to move the jets down to get into the area. So I stopped building in that area here. Got some stairs going up to the main island right here, and a couple more elevators. There's the one from the outside, and then we've got 2. One right here and one right there. I know they both have the same number on it, but 1 and 2 or 1 and 2, guys, whatever. But these are the ones that take you all the way down to the lower section. But I've got some different floors laid out in between. I started laying out some different sections here. Again, I don't know what's back here. There's some hallways. I've got a picture of a hallway of some people walking through, looking out kind of into this area. There's not a lot of room, but there's room enough to put some little conference rooms and stuff off to the side. But as what I did do on the back is put in a connecting piece from the upper hangar bay. It takes an elevator and then comes around here, and then they can park the birds back in this area too. There's number 2. So there's a hangar bay area right here. There's one up here that I've kind of started. So another elevator can be put in, and both sides are different. They're not mirrored, which is going to make things really, really tough. But anyways, so all the main floors going this way look just like that. They're not finished, but they are there, so they can be added to later. Same thing here. There's another big open area down here, and you can see I don't have a wall, but you can see how close it is. And there's the runway up here that goes in between the other hangar bays. So yeah, that's the side of the side of it. I don't have a lot of room. I think this is about as tight as it gets down the side. But again, some things can be added like I've done right here later on. And same thing around here is empty. Some things can be added. And we'll go down the stairs some more. And again, around this corner, gets a little tight. A little hallway there. And down again. and we were down on the lower level. This got ripped out several times, and I noticed I'm missing some pieces here. But anyways, I will fill that in later. Was trying to think about how this thing would actually work, and I know we discussed this in the update video. If it's in the water and things like that. Things just didn't make sense about the, this this particular structure. As far as where the rotors go when it's in the water, what happens to this area? Is this like a sub-access where submarines can come up in? Possibly, and we talked about some things like that. But anyways, overall, I decided just to go ahead and put this thing in the air, and later on, if we tweak it, we can tweak it. But if it did go in the water, it would have to have some kind of doors here to seal off any kind of water, because this would sit in the water. I think probably about this deep is where I had it on my test world. So anyways, I don't know, about 11 blocks deep, maybe 9 blocks deep, something like that. Was about as low as I could get it without the front main flight deck being way too low in the water. It's just a weird. This is a weird thing, but I did the best that I could with it, and I think the air structure version is probably the best one to go with. And we got an elevator here. There's the number 2 that we saw on the one floor, and then there's the one on the main hangar deck up there. So that's where that one goes. And then on the other side, and of course there's some different, landing areas here for, the vertical takeoff vehicles like the F-35 and the Quinjet, which will have to land down there because it's much bigger. But anyways, this side here is completely different. There's a little jump elevator here that goes up just to get out of the area underneath, just to get this up a little bit. They move this around to this elevator, put it in here and go up. And then there's another deck here for parking. Again, it's not completely finished, but there's enough room to put some birds, and you can see behind it where I'm trying to fill it in without getting rid of where the exhaust is too. Again, trying to think about how this would work sensibly. There's got to be room for from the front exhaust turbine to the end without killing all this space and making it all engine room. That's what I come up with. The best scenario I could come up with. And same thing on the other side. There's the one up the main hangar bay. So yeah, it was a very, very intricate build. A lot of thinking, maybe a lot of overthinking. But I wanted as much of it to make as much sense as possible anyways. This area here didn't get finished as far as the overhead support beams. I had a picture on Facebook where I had it, and it felt way too cramped. So I completely redesigned it and did not make it back to put them support structures in, which it's fine. Again, if I get back to it, great. If I don't, no big deal. Got a Quinjet here. You couldn't really see through the fly-through because shaders was on, and obviously it was pretty dark. But there's a Quinjet there. This got redesigned 100 million times. Again, I figured they needed some kind of a control booth here for any of the birds coming in. I had hangar bays on each side. I actually had this mirrored, and that didn't make any sense. And it pushed me out of room going into the forward lower bridge area. So I improvised again, so they can land here and then go over here to this elevator, take this elevator up, and then go around the back side. I know it's a lot of fucking around. Kind of doesn't make sense, but I don't know. It took up some area and it turned out nice. So I used it. That's what I stuck with. So anyways, and then we flew over here and went up the stairs, and this goes up into the control booth here, looking out over that area. And again, none of that's finished. Just some hallways put in. There's an upper control area here that looks down over the main bridge area. And you can go in from underneath, or you can go down right here. And I think this turned out really well. Again, this got redesigned several times until I come up with something that looked as close to the movie as possible. And I had to use the movie here for this point, or this part. I had one picture up here with them standing. And then the rest I kind of used the movie to to figure out how to lay these things out. I did use tinted glass just because I think it looks better, especially from the outside. It hides a few things that aren't done, especially up in the nose section, and that's where we're going to go next. So I'm going to work my way up there, and you will pick up from that point. All right, so yeah, anyways, we flew out from here in the main video, so you didn't really get a really good shot of the underneath of it. That's what it looks like. That's what I come up with. That was a pain in the ass trying to get that where I thought it fit and where it should be. And that's the final design. That's it. Not moving it no more. And then the forward gun stations here. Again, I didn't have any pictures of this. Not any really good ones worth using. So again, lots of improvising here, and then some forward glass looking back into all the empty space. And of course, that would be, I guess, where you can put all your berthing areas, your eating areas, shitters, more conference rooms, whatever else would go inside a helicarrier. There's still a lot of room in there to work. So yeah, and then of course in the main island there's some room also. But other than that, guys, that's the helicarrier. That's 8 or 9 months of strenuous, hard labor trying to get this to this point and not overdoing it. I'm sure if I spent a lot more time on it, and didn't take into consideration that I may try to attempt a tutorial on this, I would have gone a lot crazier with it. There would be a lot more detail on it, but I knew the pain and agony that would have caused and the impossibility or improbability of definitely not getting a tutorial if I went any further with this. Even this pushes the envelope for me. I mean, this is if and when I get the tutorial done. If I can get through it, where it's probably going to be an 8 or 10 hour tutorial, and it'll be one video, just like always. It just makes it so much easier, and I don't think I will speed it up if I don't have to, like I've done on some of my previous tutorials. So yes, I am thinking about it. I am thinking about the tutorial, guys. I'm putting a lot of thought into it right now, and as you can tell, because different things that I am discussing about it. Just like always, just be patient. It's going to be several months down the road. I've got another carrier, the Nimitz, that I need to try to get done, and some other builds that I want to try to get started. Just because this has taken up so much time, I run out of content and run out of builds. Just because I put so much effort into getting this finished. So I need to get back on track and get things going. The 65 on the side, guys, that's from the Enterprise. So a couple people asked about that, said it was 61 or 64. I don't care. Make it whatever you want when you build it. I put 65 on it because I was on the Enterprise, and that's just kind of my number, I guess. So that's why it's got the 65 on it. But that's pretty much it, guys. I really appreciate all the support from start to finish on this thing. It's been a rough one. It's been a very long road, but very gratifying to finally get this thing done. And I will put just as much effort and hard work into trying to get a tutorial done on this thing. Again, just be very patient, and I know you will. Like always, I appreciate you watching, you guys. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.